Hey YouTube, it's Faye, and for today's video, I just cut the length of my oil drain line, and I want to show you how easy it was, because I got a new tool to do this job, and just made this job a freaking dream, so figured I would share it with you. All right, here goes. So I decided to switch from this fitting to this fitting because it allowed much easier access to be able to remove this line. It didn't interfere with the very tight clearance here with the turbo. You can see how that one would just make it impossible to disconnect that line afterwards. I'd have to basically connect it, then bolt this one up, which is fine. But this one is just gonna make my life much easier. So I had a hose, pardon my mess here, custom made to the perfect length. But now that obviously I'm adding some inches here to the overall length of the line, so I'm gonna have to cut this one shorter. So I went ahead and removed this part of the fitting. Now I'm gonna pull this part off and then figure out how I'm gonna have to cut this. Now that I have this end removed, I'm going to screw this onto this drain tube adapter piece, and then from there I'll be able to measure the length of the hose I need. So I'm gonna mark right here to the bottom of where the thread stops. All right, so now's the hard part where we always like cut our hands open, right? Hopefully not, because I'm gonna be using this for the first time. This is not a sponsor, this is just a cool cool tool that I wanted to share with y'all today. So this kit, what is this, 10/16, has 3 different sizes, the larger size, and I'll be using the smallest of the larger size. And here are the instructions. It's like there are different spacers here for different styles of fittings. Okay, number 1 spacers for air quip, number 2 spacer. I'll show you what the spacers are going to be used for though, because in my case, I'm going to be using one of these, I think. So I'm going to keep the blue tape on this. And then you can see we've got these 2 halves of this piece here. And I like how like right on the outside, it says size like -10. So no, this is -10. This is a -10. So I'm going to open this up and put my fitting inside. We're going to be putting the hose in obviously this way, so I'm going to be facing this piece this way, and we want it tight in there obviously, so that's what these little spacers are for. It's basically just to give us a little bit of cushion there so that this isn't going to move at all. We got 2 different spacers and it's going to be pretty obvious which one's going to work. That's way too wobbly, and this one fits perfectly, so there we go. Just going to take this, and obviously since it comes apart this way, that's the way that I'm going to put it in the vise, just to make sure that it's really not going to come apart on me. I'm pretty sure you can do this both with and without the tape. I'm going to keep the tape on just because that's what I'm used to doing. However, I used to like, ow, see? I'm used to having like a really fancy machine that did this at my old job. I'm also just going to put a little bit of oil on this just to help make it a little bit easier. Wow, okay. But there we go. That's all the way installed. Kind of don't like the way the tape looks on the outside of it though, so just for fun, I'm gonna take this back out, remove the tape, and see if it's just as easy to install it without the tape on there without running into any issues. So let's give that a shot. Pull that off. Reinstall this. Obviously it's not super tight there. I'm not like, you know, annihilating it in the vise. And yeah, that is, man, it's so sharp that can hurt. I usually always end up with a ton of little pinholes in my fingers after doing this, but all right, so here we go. Let's see. Give another twist just for fun. Oh, I think that's it. Wow, I think, oh my God. That makes it so easy to install. And look, all right. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. I love that because the turbo's at the right angle right now, and that is a nice, like, perfect drain into the pan. Now, I still have to take the pan back off and finish buttoning up some stuff underneath there. And I still have to tighten up, obviously, like the turbo is totally loose still. I'm still figuring out where I want everything to be. So this was just a quick temporary install, but I can check now my oil drain and my oil feed lines off the to-do list now that I've gotten this one perfectly cut and everything. So here is the 10AN bung weld done to my oil pan. I have a whole video about modifying this oil pan. If you're interested, go ahead and click above. So there is the going in. And a general rule of thumb, you do not want this drain to be less than a 10AN, and you also don't want more than a 45-degree angle. So look at how awesome this is. Right, I'm pretty stoked on that. Well, anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye! Tip of the day, did you know that chickens love grapes? Love them. So if you have a beautiful bunch like this, but then you happen to notice that in there there's like, you know, weird damaged squish ones, don't throw them away, set them aside, and your chickens will love you forever. Hi, cutie. Fern, don't take Abby's